What is happening? Hope everyone is doing well. We have a Starbucks Grande Blonde Latte. So I want to chat about automate, delegate, remove. Today, I want to chat about mindset. Today, I want to chat about becoming a lifelong learner. Today, we are talking about sales processes. So we're going to entitle these live sessions, Coffee with Cody. Hello, good day. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Coffee with Cody. Today, I want to chat about how to think and grow rich. It's actually a book by Napoleon Hill. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a business owner, you're a real estate agent, in my opinion, you need to read this book, because I think I was subconsciously doing this prior to actually, prior to this year. I was thinking about like our goals, and I was thinking about them every day, and I would wake up and I would say, eventually we're going to hit 100K monthly recurring revenue, and we're going to get there. And that's something that we have, we're going to, we're passing the 7-figure mark this year, and it's beyond my wildest dreams. And I think a lot of it comes and starts with mindset. And I think that this book is so great, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, because it starts with mindset. And I think that, and I wrote this in my book about how our beliefs map our thoughts, which map our actions. And I think that when we say things and we speak things into existence on a daily basis, or we write them out, what ends up happening is we turn a lot of these things into reality, because it's like we become so obsessed with the actual goal. And I'm going to get into Thinking and Growing Rich, this book by Napoleon Hill. I'm going to get into kind of the 6 steps he talks about in this book. But when I was a kid, one of the things that I would do oftentimes is I would write things out. I didn't have the best memory. I don't know about you, but do you remember when you were trying to study for a test? I don't know if you did this, but this is what I did: is I would sit there with a pen and paper, and I would look at the textbook, and I would begin to write out the things that were in the textbooks in order to memorize them. And that's what I try to do on a daily basis. I try to write out the things that are going to happen. And call it woo-woo, call it, whatever you want to call it. I've come to realize that this shit works. This stuff works. And we talked about this in the Mindset and Business for Your Life Purpose, the book we wrote, the what if you could, it's like, I think that question, like, what if you could, build a 7-figure business? What if you could, just pick up and travel and leave wherever you want? What if you could have, the life you imagine for yourself? What if you could live your dream? And I think these are all important questions to ask yourself. And I think that Napoleon Hill just does such a great job in his book of Think and Grow Rich. It's like to actually, manifest the things that you really want. I really believe in this stuff, and some people call it woo-woo, but I just find writing things out, you end up, the subconscious mind is more powerful than I think we give it credit. And the more that I write things out, the more that I put pen to paper of like, this is going to happen, it becomes a reality. And what I want to do is on page 42 of this book, I've really adopted this framework where essentially Napoleon Hill in this book says the first thing you want to do if you want to, if you desire riches, or you want to turn the vision for your future into reality, he says, fix your mind in the exact amount of money you desire. It's not sufficient merely to say, I want plenty of money. Be definite as the amount. There's a psychological reason for definitiveness, which will be described in a subsequent chapter. And he talks about that. So the first thing is like, fix your mind on the exact amount of money you want, or vice versa. Fix your mind on the exact thing that you want. Like, what is it that you want? Do you want a house on the ocean? Do you want, which is something that I want? Do you want, a certain amount of money? For us, like, I've been fixing my mind on the fact we're going to be a $2.4 million company next year. Fix your mind on the thing that you want. The second thing is to determine exactly what you want and determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. I think it's so important. It's like, what are you going to do in order to get this amount of money? He talks about this further in the book. The third thing he says is to establish a definite date when you intend to possess the money you desire. And it may be the thing. Maybe it's not necessarily money. Maybe it's what money gives you. Maybe it's an opportunity that money is going to give you. Maybe it's the ability to travel. Maybe it's the ability to have financial freedom. Whatever that thing is, I just think that this framework is phenomenal. And the fourth thing he says is create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you are ready or not, and put this plan in action. It's like, for me, what I've started to do, and like I said early on in the podcast, is I write this out. Like, I literally have on my phone. I'm like, okay, 2.4 million. This is how much personal income. This is cash invested. This is what I'm going to do on a daily basis. I'm going to get in a quiet spot. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to talk to myself about the thing. I'm actually going to physically write it out. I'm going to write out the things that I'm going to do. And one of the things I wrote out is like, I intend to create an amazing product and service that gets clients results and they stay long-term with me. I create a name inside the real estate community and my team loves the work that we do. I think that this framework, if you pick up Think and Grow Rich, create a definite plan. The fifth thing is like, write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire and the time limit for its acquisition, and state what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan that you're going to actually accumulate the wealth. Read out a written statement aloud twice daily, once before retiring at night and once before rising in the morning. As you read, see and feel and believe in yourself already in possession of the money or the thing. And I think that for me, this has been such a great eye opener, because I think subconsciously, like I mentioned, I was doing this. I think that now I have more intention because I have a framework. And I think a lot of times what ends up happening in the world and in our lives is once we find something out, and then once we create a framework around the thing, we end up really making a massive shift in our lives. And one of the things for me, like I said, in Napoleon Hill in the actual book talks a lot about saying it out loud, reading it out loud. For me, what really helps me internalize and externalize things is actually writing them out. It's like, what is that thing that I'm going to get? What is the thing that I'm going to do in my business, in my career, in my personal life? And actually putting pen to paper, because what ends up happening is subconsciously for me, I memorize it. It's almost like you're memorizing the things that are going to happen in the future. And like I said, some people are going to find this woo-woo, and that's cool. But I've chatted with so many entrepreneurs, so many real estate agents, so many 7-8 figure real estate agents, entrepreneurs, so many investors that, they credit a lot of what Napoleon Hill writes in this. And I think that in order to get things we want, we often have to get obsessed with them. And the best way to get obsessed with them is to think about them daily. So I want to say more than anything, thank you for tuning in on another episode of Coffee with Cody. If you have a desire to take your life and your business to the next level, I highly encourage you to read Think and Grow Rich. And if you have any questions around, and pick up our book as well, What If You Could, The Mindset and Business Blueprint for Your Life Purpose. It was really written as a book. It's on Amazon. It was written as a book that really give massive amount of value back to the real estate and the entrepreneurial community, just around thinking different, because I think that if we can shift the way that we think in business and life, abundance happens. And it's like, when you live in a state of abundance, it's like you're not really competing with anyone other than yourself, and you're not competing with anyone other than the person you need to be 10 years in order to experience the thing that you want to experience in life. And I just want to encourage you more than anything. I hope you got a ton of value today. I hope you go pick up those books, and I hope you begin to change the way that you think. So have a great day. See y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Coffee with Cody. Bye, guys.